people from all the ministries of the government of India, like MEA does a lot of gifting. So they were there. We have G20 presidency next year. Their officials were there. Officials from tribal ministry were there. Officials from Khadi were there. Officials from MSME were there. So we are doing a great deal of work together, interministerial, to promote this one district, one product program. That day we came out with a catalog where we've listed out a large number of products from these various districts. It's work in progress. It will keep expanding. And then we are now trying to identify suppliers who we are cataloging. Both of these I'm happy to share with you digitally. It's available digitally. You can just share it with one of you, or Himanshu can share it with all of you. And look at some of those products. They're just beautiful beyond imagination. Very affordable. And you know who's our brand ambassador? Prime Minister Modi himself. Because everywhere around the world, when there's an opportunity, or if he's traveling and, you know, there's a customary gift exchange, or when world leaders come to India, Prime Minister Modi, Dr. Jaishankar, Nirmala ji, those of us who have to interact with world leaders, all the gifts that are exchanged are always ODOP products. And that's what we have decided in the government. That gives a recognition for those products internationally. And we try to write the history of the product, because that adds value. And good design and packaging, of course, can multiply the value manifold. So we are trying to get the Institute of Packaging, Indian Institute of Packaging, Indian Institute of Design engaged also, National Institute of Fashion Technology, NIFT. All these institutes we are putting together in partnership mode with these one district, one product plans.
So do you see any synergies between one district, one and ONDC? Because, I mean...
Naturally. So what we are doing, for example, is we are encouraging as many of these product manufacturers or suppliers to come onto the government e-marketplace, GEM. And GEM will catalog their products and get them onboarded free of charge. So all government procurement can, of course, start using it. Cooperatives can start using these products. Once the cataloging process is done free of charge, then when they want to onboard onto any other platform, it's all ready for them on a platter. They just can onboard onto any platforms. And when they come onto ONDC, that platform comes onto ONDC. Suppose I'm registered in platform X. My product, let's say Moradabad Brassware, is on platform X, which cataloging GEM has already helped me do, so I can now onload on platform X. In the normal scheme of things today, all those who come onto platform X as buyers will only see my product, right? With ONDC, all the platforms which are on ONDC, if any buyer on any of those platforms comes and is looking for Moradabad Brassware, he will be able to see my product. That's what ONDC is all about, in simple words. It democratizes the entire buyer and seller ecosystem. So a buyer on any one app will get to see the sellers on all apps on ONDC. Or a seller on one app will be able to offer products to buyers on all the apps who come through apps which are on the platforms which are on ONDC. So it's going to be a game-changing thing. It will change e-commerce across the world.
Wow.
Mark my words.
Wow. So, sir, this is Ruchika Sharma from Sakshi TV. My question to you is, when you talk about India, the real India is in villages and small districts and small towns, wherein we see a lot of creative women making creative products. Like when you talk about one district, one product, it should be one village, one product, or maybe one district, one product. But how do we get those women out of their comfort zone? They are very creative, but they do not know any entrepreneurship or any business ideas.
Which is exactly what I just explained. We are going to have the district officials and district teams reach out to them. We're going to have Institute of Design, Packaging, Fashion Technology, help them in creating better products or standardize the products, better quality products, packaging them better. We're going to look at GEM, helping them catalog their products. It's a work in progress. It can't be done overnight. There are thousands of products in the 750 or 740 odd villages, districts all across the country. Need not be literally one district, one product. So there could be a district which may have 2 or 3 unique products. While the program is one district, one product, we recognize that some districts may have more than one really fascinating offering to give.
So Indian School of Business in India, in collaboration with Goldman Sachs, is giving training to such entrepreneurship women from different parts of India, especially coming from the villages. So is Government of India planning such training program to upgrade the women in their skills?
Well, it's a continuous process. It'll have to be done by the district officials at the state level, at the district level. Government of India can play a supportive role, but obviously Government of India does not have a reach into every village or every district. The way the federal structure works is that the central government works through the state governments and then through the district.
My last question to you is,
Madam, others are also.
There are 2 people. Joyita, you have a question?
So, how soon do we see the final launch of ONDC? It has been limited.
Well, the beta testing is currently going on. This month we are looking at opening it to the public in 1 or 2 cities, and we'd like to, I want to make sure that when we come up for a public launch, it's well tried and tested, has sufficient capacity to handle large volumes, and the products are sanitized, the platforms are sanitized who come on to ONDC. So I don't think we should rush into things. We'd rather make a very good offering to the people at large.
Sir, one question. You met, venture capitalists and other, funds on startup things. So, what are the key takeaways from those meetings and anything that you are planning to implement?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, one of the key takeaways is the Bay Area is very bullish on India. They're very excited about the potential that India and Indians and Indian startups and Indian businesses have to offer. Very excited about the talent available in India. They see huge potential in the large market that India is, 1.3 billion aspirational Indians. I think there will obviously be areas which have been flagged off to me also, which we will look at addressing. For example, the direct selling community had a suggestion which we've already activated back home in India. We'll try to quickly resolve that. There were suggestions around mentorship. We've launched a Setu program where we are looking at supporting entrepreneurs through transformation and upskilling initiatives. We are also looking at a program that the Startup Advisory Council had initiated in India, in which mentorship is being initiated particularly in tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 towns and smaller areas, remoter areas. A lot of good suggestions have been brought to the table. A few ideas for us to mull over and further work on ease of doing business.
So last question from Veena. Just one second.
Your dad was earlier today you had an engagement with Jay Chaudhary where you talked about cybersecurity. What were his initiatives that he suggested, in terms, and what sectors in India is he looking at, and what were the discussions?
Well, each of the meetings here has been amazing in terms of the depth and breadth of work that our Indian entrepreneurs are doing. And Mr. Chaudhary's company, Zscaler, has done some commendable work on cybersecurity. Clearly, the world is grappling with serious concerns around cybersecurity. During the course of this visit, I've met at least 3 very, very enterprising companies who are providing solutions on cybersecurity. Jay has also offered to support any efforts that we may want to do in India to have a greater understanding of the threats that cybercrime or cyber attacks can potentially have on government and government systems. I do take back a message, while of course Government of India, the MeitY, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and the National Security Advisor, all of them have been working to see what needs to be done on cyber security. I think creating partnerships with companies in the Bay Area will actually help us get there faster. So I'm very excited about some of the offers that I've received from the Bay Area entrepreneurs and technology companies, which will help us back home in India.
So
So your father-
semiconductors and chips were on your priority list. Any update on that? You wanted to bring semiconductors?
Very clearly, many countries, including the US now, has come up with their chips policy. India, many months ago, came up with the semiconductor policy where we are giving very liberal incentives for companies to come and manufacture in India, even set up fabs. We already have a good ecosystem on design and several elements of the semiconductor chain. But we are in dialogue with many companies. Companies in the US, companies in other parts of the world have shown interest in investing. MeitY is handling the detail of that, so I wouldn't be up to speed on what exactly is the status right now. But I can assure you that we are very serious about promoting the semiconductor industry.
Can I ask one last question? So your dad, Mr. Piyush Goyal, he had been on the National Treasury of BJP for about 2 decades, and then you were the next, being a chartered accountant and being associated with this kind of a family. It's obvious. So I would just ask you, what is one characteristic of BJP that you and your family love the most? And when you're wearing multiple hats now as a cabinet minister, then how do you handle all these portfolios?
Well, I think the best part of the Bharatiya Janata Party is its outlook towards the country is very, very nationalistic. It's India first, the party next, and the self the last. And the ideology of the party is very, very pro-people. We believe that the last man at the bottom of the pyramid has the first right on the nation's resources. The concept of Antyodaya or integral humanism articulated by Dindayal Upadhyay. We believe the unity and integrity of the country is paramount and are willing to go to any extent to ensure that India provides for all without discrimination, free and fair opportunity to every citizen of the country to prosper. And I think it's an ideology that excited me from my childhood, which is why I joined the party. What also is important to note is that this party recognizes merit. For example, we are very much against dynastic politics. One may very well question me why I say that or how can I say that. I say that because I worked through the party ranks right from 1986 when I was a young man. I worked through the party as a common worker for over a decade or nearly 2 decades while handling many different assignments, but with no position, and certainly no position coming because of my surname. My mother, after 3 terms as a member of Maharashtra's Legislative Assembly, retired from public life in 2004. Suo moto, on her own, saying that, well, I'm now 65, I should retire, let some new people get an opportunity. I'll continue to do social work, which she continued to do until her death in 2020.
Super.
But on the condition that I would not be the candidate, even though I was very active. I had fought all the 3 elections for her. But she said, Piyush Goyal will not be the candidate from my area. Her words were over my dead body. She is not going to contest here. Because this is not a right that the family has just because I was an MLA. My father was in public life also. 2 terms in the Rajya Sabha. Finished his terms in 2008 and passed away in 2008. Well before I even came to Delhi as a member of parliament. I came to Delhi in 2010 as an MP. 6 years after my mother had retired, 2 years after my father had passed away. I was chosen by the party. I would like to believe on my merit. I had nobody to be my godfather in 2014. But Prime Minister Modi decided to give me a responsibility. I do hope on my merit, and I continue to serve on that. Thank you.
Thank you.